What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today we are looking at the Hot Toys Joker DX32. This is the sculpted hair version, not the artisan, sadly, but I'm happy with anything I can get my hands on, especially with the amount of people who are really interested in this figure. I picked my figure up from toysassemble.com, so if you guys want to go check them out, check the link in the description or check what's on the screen right now. I do genuinely recommend them. I've been purchasing from them even before we started collaborating, so this really is just something that's super good, and I truly do recommend them. But as always, make sure to do your own research beforehand. And just like that, let's take this box out in the light box and see what we got. Alright, and there is no doubt this box is very big. This is it compared to my hand. I know you can't really tell how big my hands are, but it is a big box, just I'll let you know that. We can see right here a lot of purple and white and black, and the nice contrast of the blood, or the smile, I guess you could say. You can take that your own way, but I take it as blood because it is the Joker. The pattern on this box is very film grain, comic book-esque looking. On the side, we can see the Joker DX32 from the Batman trilogy. Same thing on the back, a lot of white and silver with purple and a bunch of laughing. And same thing on that side. But without further ado, I know you guys did not come here for the box, so let's take it out. All right, and here we get this little Joker DX kind of intro. DX is their highest quality of figures, so you are going to expect the highest quality unboxing experience. If you guys want to read this right here, you can. That's up to you, but I'm not much of a reader. Pretty cool artwork, and this is a nice foam pad, but we don't care about that. We got the figure itself out here, instruction manual, who reads those, and first looks at what comes inside. Wow. We're going to take off these little bits right here and take the actual figure out, and it comes in his own sleeve. We're going to take our first in-hand impressions of this figure, and wow. Yeah. You can definitely tell this is Hot Toys' greatest figures, and this actually might be the best Joker likeness out of any company ever done, including Inart's Joker. But we're going to take a nice look at this in a little bit, but first we're going to take out all of his accessories because he comes with a shit ton, and we're going to take a closer look at everything he comes with. Alright, everybody, this is everything that the DX32 Joker comes with. It is a lot of stuff, so we're going to get right into it. We're going to check out this really cool display base up first. We can see we have the nice Batman logo right here, and you're probably asking, where does this really nice clear crotch grabber go? And the amazing thing about this display base is you can display it 3 different orientations, because this rock right here, this rock right here, and then this rock right here, all you could put the display base piece into, and you can just seriously orient it any which way you want, which I would probably end up displaying it just like this, so the Bat logo is front and center. Now, actually coming up to the display base, you can see a lot of nice white rock details. There is a shit ton of texture on this display base. You can see a lot of nice chrome and black wash on this actual sewer grate right here. They painted over the Bat logo, and it is nicely cracked into there. This is a nice smoother texture, kind of like a granite looking or something. And overall, this is not too punchy for a Joker figure, and I think this is actually a perfect display base for him. And this base actually does have a light up feature right around the back here, so we are of course going to see what that looks like. And here we have the display base all plugged in, and the button is actually very nicely discreetly hidden right there. And you can see it has a nice kind of smoldering lava look, and then this one is a pulsating look. It doesn't flicker in person, it's just the camera's refresh rate, and then it goes off. But this is a really cool thing. I don't know if I want to route wires through my entire display just for this, but thank you, Hot Toys, for just giving me the option. So the first hand we're going to be looking at right now is his gun holding hand. He does have a very similar one, but this is a gesture of a gun. Both of them, I guess, can be used for the actual gun hand, but the actual detail on these is pretty simple, but it is very realistic. A lot of wrinkles, and you can see the nice silver detail right into that glove. Then he also comes with a knife holding hand and a card holding hand, along with 2 more, I guess you could say, gesture hands. We have 3 stacks of money, and you can actually see that the Joker's makeup is painted onto the actual bill itself, and these all are printed, which is super awesome. And we do actually end up getting 3 of these, which is a really nice touch. Then we get a fully detailed full set of cards, which is just crazy on Hot Toys' part. All of these are beautifully printed, and you can see we have a Joker card right there. Of course, everybody knows this one. This is when Joker opened his coat, and you can see all of the grenades that were attached to his finger. You can do this. It does come with some bobby pins that you can attach to the inside of his jacket. Grenade detail is very basic, but there is a decent bit of washing in there, and there is different grenades. And the metal effects on it, and the little slight wearing on the metal does look very convincing. Now we're going to go on to the Joker's weapons. First, we're going to take a look at his Glock with his extended clip. We can open this up and see some bullet detail for ourselves, and a very strong spring in there. This thing, yeah, it's pretty damn strong. Coming up close, the detail, of course, for a DX figure release is very nice. Very chromatic, and you can see some slight texture on there. The black is quite basic, but there is a nice amount of texture on it, and it is very nicely sculpted. Then we have Joker's machine gun. This one is painted way nicer, a lot of scuffing and details on it. Of course, this one also does have bullet detail in the magazine. You can open up his stock, and this one is really cool. This also has a spring. But the overall detail on this piece, I think, is miles better. And I mean, for a piece like this, I think people would rather display this more than the Glock. But we will see, because the Glock might be winning me over because we can hold some stuff in his other hand. Now, this is another phenomenally painted piece. This has a working caulk on it, and you're going to see all of the scratching and details all over the wood. And you can see that rust right there with the metal. Absolutely perfect. I really am a big fan of how this looks and came out and works. Now there's a lot of melee weapons down here, so we're going to take a very nice look at all of them. It might be a little hard to see it, but he does come with his pencil that he did use to do some pretty terrible stuff. And it really does look like a 1/6 scale pencil. And this is really the only reason why I bought this entire figure, is just because I wanted that as pencil. Then up next we have his fully chromatic switchblade, and this thing actually does work. This actually right here does work and lock it closed, so you can't open it. But if we flick it open, you can actually spin this thing closed, which is absolutely amazing. And now it's locked like this. All the detail is pretty good, but is a very small piece, and it would be kind of a waste of money to really go all out on this. But all the metal details are very nice on it. Then we have his switchblade, which of course does work just like everything else on here. And you technically could clip this onto any figure you want, because the clip does work, and it does have a little rebound to it. And it's also like one of those little fake knives where you just press it down and it retracts. Detail on this, again, pretty plain, but I can't complain. That rhymed. And these right here are just two more knives, and they are actually very pointy, so you do want to be careful. But the detail on them is very nice. Again, the metal does look really realistic, and I really am a big fan of this gold wash and this wood. And of course, same thing goes for this piece. And for the last accessory in the entire bunch, we do have Joker's little foot knives, which is such a cool thing for them to add. This is actually metal, but I will be showing you what this looks like on the actual figure when I get the chance. But without further ado, we're going to get Joker out here in the light box, no special poses or accessories, and see what he looks like on the rotating turntable. All right, everybody, I think we can all agree right now, even without the first in-hand impressions, this is probably going to be the best 1/6 scale Heath Ledger Joker figure there has ever been. This guy's proportions, first of all, absolutely amazing, and you can see that head sculpt even from here. I think it's going to take the cake from InArt's Joker, but when we put it up close, that will have to say. The tailoring on his outfit is absolutely crazy. I did not mess with this figure at all. This is all completely out of the box. It has pre-done wrinkles and everything all around the suit, and there is already a lot of weathering and dirt and grime all over this figure, which suits him perfectly. But without further ado, everybody, let's just get this figure up close and personal and take a very close look. So here we have him up close and personal, and I think I'm going to confidently say with this head sculpt, best likeness, best paint applications, best everything on a 1/6 scale Joker. I really do think this is going to be miles better than the InArt one. And I don't have that in hand because, first of all, why would I now? I have this absolute beaut. But you get to see everything about this head sculpt looks absolutely perfect. Even this hair being sculpted, even right here, you cannot tell. In my opinion, I was not going to spend the extra $150 to have rooted hair when I'm going to style it the exact same. That is just my opinion. I think that is the same thing that a lot of you guys are going to want to do, because obviously we are all out on some kind of budget, and I would rather put that 150 towards another figure because I am perfectly happy with how this hair and actual head sculpt looks. We have those iconic wrinkles on his forehead with the skin texture showing through, which can show he's sweating or he's just showing a lot of emotion, and that is actually just flaking off. Around his mouth, we can see some more of that white paint rubbing off, which is on purpose, which is absolutely crazy that Hot Toys did that. The black around his eyes is not overdone, and that red on his mouth is perfect. Along with that scarring, you can see that is perfectly inset. I'm saying perfect a lot because that just sums up this head sculpt perfectly. You can see Joker has some gnarly posture. I mean, if we could put it straight ahead, I guess. Yeah, but most people are going to have him slouching like a creep. The eyes are super glossy and they look scarily realistic. Yeah, like I was saying, this hunch is actually on purpose. That's just in the head sculpt. If we take this head sculpt off really quick, you can kind of see how the neck is a little tilted forwards. Well, yeah, just seeing the head sculpt alone right here, it definitely holds up on its own. Of course, this figure has rolling eyeballs, so I want to change his expression really quick and just show you guys what that looks like. And yeah, you can really see how those rolling eyeballs really do just change the entire expression of the figure itself. And now adding just a little hunch to it and his head tilted down. Yeah, the rolling eyeballs were an amazing idea just to add to pretty much every figure nowadays, especially to somebody as expressive as a Joker. But while we have the back of Joker's head open, let's see what this swap out tongue looks like instead of his teeth. And yeah, that's definitely a look, but I'm not sure this is how I'm going to be displaying my Joker. And throwing that hair piece on, it depends on the expression, but I personally am not that big of a fan of it. But it is super cool that Hot Toys is starting to add little details like this. And I'm going to have to say yes 1,000 times to that teeth sculpt. So now taking a look at the overall figure right here, he has a very nice weight to him, but he is not overweighted. The suit tailoring, again, like I said, is absolutely perfect. We're going to start up here. You can see all of the layers. On this side of the jacket, of course, you know, we can add the grenades to there. And on this side, just the plain orange. Of course, we have the suit jacket and the iconic vest. He has a real chain on his pants that just, you know, dangles around there. I didn't even know if this figure came with this, and it's just really cool to see little details as you're actually playing around with the figure itself, because right here you would never know. The material on this feels very high quality, and since the whole thing is just a fabric, this will never crease or bend, so you can put this figure in any pose you would like. Coming down to his pants, again, they're perfectly tailored to his body, and you can see his boots with his Joker socks, and you can see his actual legs. They're black. He does not have a sort of white flesh tone underneath him. He is a black body, which is a little weird, and I really was not expecting something like that. But anyway, it's just fun to look at stuff like that. These buttons on the front do not work. There is not a place to put it on this side. But of course, you're going to have the Joker's jacket open, at least like this. And with his vest right here, there is just two little things that you can undo. And now you can undo his vest, and you can see his tie with his suspenders. Again, Hot Toys is just outdoing themselves as usual. So opening this up makes it super easy to actually mess with the tie and make sure it looks exactly how you want it to. And you can just already see right off the bat how expressive this figure can be without moving anything else about it. Just simply like this, he looks menacing. I really just can't understate how much I am loving this figure. And yes, of course, you could take off his purple jacket, and this is a look we don't really ever actually get to see. The suit jacket is almost never on him, so we're going to see what he looks like with just his vest now, if we're able to take it off. So we were able to take it off, and now you can just see the trap padding compared to the actual shoulder joint itself. This does not work, so I kind of just wasted my time, but science does need to be tested sometimes. And of course, if the sleeves do roll up even just a little bit, you see his glossy black body. So we're going to slap everything back on him now. And here we have him back to probably everybody's preferred look. And I'm going to do this off camera because it's probably going to take me a little bit, but we're going to put the grenades in his jacket and see what that ends up coming out like. All right, everybody, now it's time for the articulation portion. We're going to put his neck as far down as possible, and that is a lot, but he already is a pretty big hunchback. His head can go up as much as you'd honestly really want it. You can start seeing a little bit of his neck peg though, so you could end up pulling his suit up just a little bit. We have head tilt to the side, which For a fixed neck figure, this is pretty good. And of course, you can do 360. Coming over to his arms, you can put it at just about 90 degrees. Going up, it leaves room for more to be desired. And going backwards is not surprisingly a lot easier. Elbow, there's not a lot in the way besides the actual material itself, which is your only giveaway. And there is a very nice butterfly joint in that shoulder, which allows him to have a lot of different range of motion. Now it's time for everybody's favorite. We're going to do the ab crunch. And not bad, not bad. And going backwards, there's not a lot at all. Coming over to his legs, pushing them all the way up. He gets just a little bit over 90 degrees, bending his knees all the way. Yeah, they go as much as they possibly can without interfering with the actual joint itself. Of course, with every other figure, there is a butterfly point. There's a butterfly joint right there, and his ankles do have a very fine amount of articulation going side to side, forward, backwards, all of the 9 yards. And you can see how deformed his ankle looks right there because it is on a really nice peg that we can just sock back into place. And for his hips going out to the side, you can see just about there. And while we're looking at his body, we might as well throw on his foot knives. And these things are pretty subtle, you can see right there. But be careful because they are real metal and they're actually really sharp. But personally, again, I'm not going to be displaying them like this. I want a more classic look. And this is a very niche scene in the movie. But again, awesome for Hot Toys for adding stuff like that. I love to see it. And now, everybody, it is time to do some figure comparisons, maybe some cool poses, and some closing statements. All right, and here we have the brand new Joker with the Catwoman from the same trilogy. We're going to be showing Bane and my other favorite killer clown in a quick second. But I did end up putting these two on the same exact height display bases just because Catwoman, she is a bitch to pose with those heels. It is so hard to get her standing, and especially in this light box, I don't feel like messing around with it. So this was easier for me. Even with her high heels, Joker has a decent amount of height on her. I can't say the same thing about Bane versus her, but again, she is wearing heels, so she is going to stack up against them. And of course, being from the same line, they look absolutely amazing. But now I'm going to add Bane to this, so we're going to have all three out here and take a nice look. All right, everybody, you cannot tell me that this doesn't stack up beautifully. I do have a couple more of the Batman villains on the way. One of them being Penguin, and another one that I'm scouting for is Two-Face. There is a lot of rumors going around of Hot Toys eventually announcing a Scarecrow 2.0, so I am going to end up waiting for that. But again, this display shelf of DC villains is about to look so sick. But now, let's get out my other favorite killer clown and compare the two. Now, these not even being the same figure company, one of them being Trick or Treat Studios and the other obviously being Hot Toys, it works. I'm going to say it works better than I thought, and I'm not going to be displaying it like this, obviously, because I have all of those Dark Knight Trilogy villains already, but this is just an option, maybe? Not really, it's kind of just for fun. But everybody, that really is just about it for this video. If you do want to end up picking this figure up for yourself, really right now, get it within 3 to 5 days, check out toysassemble.com. Link will be in the description. Truly do vouch for them. But thank you guys, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.